Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. These three quarterbacks who are probably knee deep in their prime right now, they all have something in common. Hey guys, before I continue on with the video, please go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you're new here. I'm going to be releasing a lot more sports related content, not just Dallas Cowboys football, so stay tuned. These three are all decorated quarterbacks. In my opinion, I think these are tier one type of guys. I would rank NFL quarterbacks as tier one, tier two, tier three, and then Patrick Mahomes is above tier one. But they have all had their struggles in the playoffs. Not one of these quarterbacks has made a Super Bowl. Only Lamar and Josh have made a conference championship. Dak Prescott has not made a conference championship. And, I mean, just looking at the numbers, Josh Allen, he has great playoff numbers, but he could just never get past Patrick Mahomes. Dak Prescott, you always have to take his numbers with a grain of salt because there is some stat padding in his numbers, but just looking at Dak's numbers in a vacuum, they're pretty above average for playoff standards, I guess you would say, but it's nothing to cry home about. Lamar Jackson is absolutely horrific. I don't even know the word for it. Lamar Jackson is horrific in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson needs to be held more accountable for his playoff blunders. In this list of three guys, Dak Prescott probably gets the most amount of scrutiny and hate for his playoff performances. But I would say Lamar needs to get the most amount of scrutiny and hate from his playoff performances. I mean, Lamar is a guy who's an MVP. Depending on what happens this year in the awards show, he might be multiple-time MVP. He might be a multiple-time MVP. Sorry for the word blunder. But what is it, guys? With Josh Allen, I will say with Josh Allen, it's just one of those things where he's just in an era where Pat Mahomes is in the league. And it sucks. When Brady was in, his reign of terror with the Patriots, there was quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers. I mean, you name it. Guys in the AFC that they did not have a level of playoff success like they should have if a guy like Tom Brady wasn't in the league. So Josh Allen, I would say that is just a product of someone better being in your conference at the same time as you. Josh Allen, he's a phenomenal player, but Patrick Mahomes he's just better. Patrick Mahomes is probably the greatest quarterback of all time. If Patrick Mahomes wins his third ring this year, that puts him on pace as far as winning goes in the playoffs with Tom Brady. And we thought we'd never see anything like Tom Brady ever again as far as straight wins and losses in the playoffs. Counting stats, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is just unbelievable. He's way better than Tom Brady in the counting stats and the eye test, quite frankly. But yeah, let's just get back to these guys. Josh Allen, he just has to deal with Patrick Mahomes. But Josh Allen, he has a career playoff passer rating of 100. He has 2,700 yards passing in his 10 games in the playoffs with 21 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I got this info from StatMuse. I had to double check that touchdown to interception ratio. I had to double check that because whenever I think of Josh Allen, I think of a Brett Favre type, someone who throws a lot of interceptions, but he's going to have the crazy splash plays. He has some of the best arm talent in the league. I get that. But a 21-4 interception touchdown to interception ratio is pretty phenomenal in the playoffs, in my opinion. That took me by surprise. You look at Dak Prescott's numbers. Passer rating of 91.8, 1,900 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a record of 2-5. Josh Allen's record was 5-5, if I didn't say that, but a record of 2-5. The reason why I say you got to take Dak Prescott's numbers with a grain of salt is because this past playoff blunder against the Green Bay Packers, he should not have thrown. I think he threw for like 300-plus yards. He should not have thrown for that. It was just mainly stat padding. The game was already over, and he was still padding his stats, throwing, touchdown passes or whatnot. Lamar Jackson, his career playoff numbers are absolutely abysmal. I want to focus on Lamar in this video because he's the most egregious example of someone who is great in the regular season, but they just straight disappear in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is abysmal. 75.7 passer rating, 1,300 yards passing, 6 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Now, I left out rushing touchdowns and I left out fumbles. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to make this video. I didn't want to. I don't know why it's so difficult to search for rushing touchdowns and fumbles when it comes to looking up people's stats in the playoffs for these quarterbacks. I don't know why they make it so difficult. Maybe I'm just slow. But yeah, I'm keeping it to just passing touchdowns and interceptions for the TD to turnover ratio. 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. A record of 2-4. Now, guys, you have to realize who Lamar Jackson's 2 wins came against. who these wins came against. They came against Ryan Tannehill and a rookie and C.J. Stroud. And as y'all know, C.J. Stroud, he was not supposed to have a chance in that game, right? I mean, just looking at Lamar's, let's go by the year. Every time he was in the playoffs. In 2019, I think that was his rookie year, he threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But if you guys remember that 2019 playoff game against the Chargers in the wild card, he was horrible. His first half, it was horrible, guys. That 194 yards passing, I'm pretty sure he got all that in the second half. A lot of this stuff was garbage time because he was absolutely horrible in that game. The AFC Divisional, I'm pretty sure 2020, I'm pretty sure this was the year Lamar had the first round bye. Was this his MVP season? He lost to the Tennessee Titans. He threw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 365 yards. Guys, a lot of that was stat padding. Those weren't memorable stats. 2021, in the AFC wildcard, he finally gets the monkey off his back and wins a playoff game against Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. I remember that game because Marcus Peters started dancing on Tennessee's logo after the game because they had some beef or something, I guess. But he throws no touchdown passes. He threw an interception. Oh, my gosh, that's horrible. The next year, the AFC Divisional, he had another stinker against Buffalo, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then, this year, after the first round bye, they played Houston. He started the game off shaky, but they ended up with a blowout win, 2 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. But, guys, no one expected the Houston Texans to do anything against the Baltimore Ravens. And, again, against KC in the AFC Championship, he had another stinker, guys. In the AFC Championship, you can't tell me that it didn't look like Lamar Jackson was pressing and trying to make plays and just, not playing winning football. Like, he just had a horrible game against them in that title game. It was bad. Dak Prescott, I mean, he's not much better. Guys, the common denominator with all 3 of these guys, I'm sorry for picking on Lamar. I mean, Dak, he gets picked on all the time in the media. And Josh Allen, I kind of feel bad putting him into this discussion because I think Josh Allen is head and shoulders better than both of these guys when it comes to playoff performances. But what all three of these guys have in common is who knows if they're going to ever break through and win a Super Bowl ring. With Patrick Mahomes being in the AFC in the middle of his prime, just like Josh Allen, and, Buffalo, let's just be frank, they've never won anything in their entire franchise. That franchise might be cursed. So that's why I loop Josh Allen into that. The Cowboys with Dak Prescott, I think the Cowboys are cursed. I'm a delusional Cowboys fan. I don't see Dak Prescott winning us the Super Bowl just because, it is the Cowboys. I've been dealing with straight purgatory my entire football fandom with the Cowboys. And then Lamar, guys, he just isn't a playoff performer. I think Lamar's game is super gimmicky with the running quarterback, Mike Vick style. And, someone brought it up. They're like, what true dual threat quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl? You think, Joe Montana. Joe Montana was a passer first that could run. Patrick Mahomes was is a passer who could run, who I wouldn't say can run. He's a passer who knows how to use his legs. Right? So really think about it. I want to hear in the comment section, when's the last dual threat quarterback to win a Super Bowl, if there ever has been one? But yeah, guys, if this has been a ramble, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to, kind of talk about how these three quarterbacks might not ever win a Super Bowl. And it will be a shame because who cares about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson? I don't care if they win, but it would be a shame if Dak Prescott can never win a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. I would be ashamed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear y'all's responses in the comment section. I love when the comment section is popping, and I'll see you on the next one.